What's up, everybody out there in YouTube land? Wrath2501 here with something I haven't done in a while. Alright, this is, as you can tell from the title, a World of Warcraft gold making guide. Okay, this is not a get rich quick scheme. This is not something that's, like for, those who want to make 1,000,000 gold or something like that. No, this is just enough to gold to get by, once again, to pay for your WoW token every month, okay? Alright, so here we are. We're going to start with this one. Start with Shiguri. Okay, so this is... We're going to go through the main one first, and then we're going to do several smaller things that help boost your gold, okay? So for the first one is this. Okay, your reputation. Okay, I know it's kind of a pain, but each time you fill up one of these reputation reward things, once you've gotten exalted, you get a chest that will get you about 4,000 gold, sometimes a little bit more. Okay, so this is actually really good because you need somewhere about 5,000 to 6,000 gold a day to pay for your WoW token every month, and that it used to be exactly 4,000 gold a day, but ever since patch 8.2, the price of the WoW token has gone up from about hovering around 120,000, sometimes dropping low to 115,000 gold, and now it's shot up all the way to 130, and sometimes even goes all the way up to 140,000 gold a pop, and that can be a real pain. However, these give you 4,000 gold, and unfortunately, you're going to want to get rep on a lot of characters to do this. Okay, as you can see, Shiguri here. Of course, you don't need to worry about the Rust Bolt resistance or the Waveblade and Cohen because it is a pain in the ass to get rep with them. Because those two zones, especially if you got War Mode on, I mean, some of you might have War Mode off, but those zones are infested with Horde, and even with flying, it's a pain in the ass to do quests because there's like 1,000,000 Horde that hover around like World Quest bosses and farming areas and stuff like that. It's just a real pain. So I recommend sticking with these ones here. These are all really easy, especially the 7th Legion or whatever the hell the Horde equivalent is, because with this one you can actually get additional reputation by doing all kinds of quests. Plus, when you're getting ready for the when you have to like dump whatchamacallit, resources on these people who have these quests, like the only ones really worth doing are the gold and the war resources. This because for that you get like 150 rep and you get some artifact power, but really it's for the rep, and you can get those quite often because you get those every day. You get 2 of them, so that's 300 extra rep every day. And let's see, so that's pretty good. Champions of Azeroth isn't too hard, except you need 4 quests to do the emissary quest. Let's see here. See, we got Alliance War Effort and the Champions of Azeroth. So you need to do 4 for the Champions of Azeroth. The Tortolans are actually really great because they only need 3, which is way better. Okay, and for the Alliance War Effort, I tend to ignore these unless there's like something really awesome here. But what you really you can do them easily if you have these. The invasions right now, the Tiergard Sound invasion is up. It's up for another 4 hours, and basically, if you do those. If you do these quests here, each one counts as towards this. It's like basically this will get you, because you have this and you have this, which gives you a pile of rep at the end. So once you complete the invasion quest, or the invasion quest, and do this quest, you the emissary quest gets you 1,500 rep, and the invasion quest gives you 500. So that's 2,000 rep. Plus the rep that you get for just doing the quest in general, which brings up to about 2,500. If the weekly is for completing world quests, I mean, it goes up quite a bit more by like 50%. So that's pretty good. The best thing, however, ever is when you have when you're in your own zone, you have an invasion, one of your own zones, or Horde or Alliance, whatever. And not only do you have the 7th Legion emissary quest, but you also have the emissary quest that applies to that area, so it would be for the Proudmoore Admiralty here. So if you got them both, that means for just 4 quests, just doing 4 world quests, you can get like 2,000, like 2,500 rep for 2 factions. That's just great. That's 5,000 rep total. That's awesome. However, you're going to need a lot of characters. Currently, I recommend 7 characters because I have 7 max level characters, and of them, only 6 of them actually have the have reputation, have basically maxed out reputation with everybody except for the Ankoan and Rustbolt. They have maxed out reputation with everyone else. And I get about, just by doing the emissary quests, you know, not even all of them, I just try to do as many as I can. Just by doing those, I get about, usually about 7 to 8 of them a week, which is basically the minimum of what you need. Okay, so that's basically the primary source of your gold here. Here's another one. Okay, well this one also helps with rep. See, you get rep here, so that was 300 rep, and this is also for the prismatic shards. That's just whatever. But this will also get you gold. You know, it's usually a little bit. The most you'll get is a little over 200. You'll get like it's like 300 gold, because sometimes that amount right there is like, see how it's 111. Sometimes it's like 205, 210 gold. So you can get like 310 gold, which is pretty decent. You know, it's not horrible for not really doing anything. And considering you're getting all these emissary quests, I mean, look how much war resources she's got. You know, this is because this just keeps going up, and I even buy all the things from my followers. One thing you're going to want to buy, you can buy from the vendors. You buy these. This gives you a 5% increased success rate. Plus, you can make the equipment stuff, but the equipment is expensive and a pain in the ass to make a lot of the times. All right, so you're going to do this, but before you try to get these are what you want to focus on. You want to focus on these ones that give you rep. Right now, she only has the Proudmoore Admiralty one, and it has a base of 250, but the bonus is 100. So, because it's a 2, you also want to get the mission table helper, which will calculate an optimal team for you. So you just click on that, boom, 200%. So that's 350 rep I'm going to get for the Proudmoore Admiralty. Boom. And considering how many war resources, doesn't matter. See, but because I used some of the characters, it went down by 5%. But that's still pretty good. So I'm going to send them that to get the gold. So you're likely to get it. However, this, even though it says 95%, so you're pretty much, you would think you're pretty much guaranteed to get it. No, I have found out that about at least 50% of the time, if this isn't 200%, about 50% of the time, you are not going to get this bonus. About 50% of the time. I've gotten the bonus when it's low as 115%, but I've missed it on 95 like many, many times. So it's like totally random. This percentage doesn't mean jack shit. Okay? So this will probably get me maybe 200, a little over 200 gold. That's basically just extra gold. It's so you can spend it on the missions and stuff like that. So another thing you can do if you've got a tailor is these embroidered deep sea bags. They're not hard to make if you've got the recipe and you've got it at level 3, and you just run a couple of some mythic dungeons. You don't even have to do the pluses. You just regular mythic dungeons. You can get the tidal cores or the hydro cores, because that's what you need to make it. And you need like 3 of them to make it, and it's not hard. And what's great is that they sell for about 10,000 gold. Remember, I said you need about 5,000 to 6,000 gold a day. So that's like just for making one of these, and if you manage to sell it, that's 2 days worth of WoW time right there. I peter it out, so it's like an average of about 5,000 to 6,000 gold a day, and that's like 10,000 gold on top of everything else you're making. So that's amazing. Let's see. Okay, so there was that. As you can see, my bags are really cluttered. I gotta clean them out. I'm such a hoarder. That's the biggest thing. That's the thing. You think about it. A lot of people in WoW are hoarders. I mean, you should see her bank. It's loaded with shit from Legion and Warlords and shit that doesn't even make any sense anymore. Okay. Oh, yes. There's another thing that you can do if you have a rogue. I'm gonna show you in just a minute. Okay, so here I am in the Rogue Order Hall, the Hall of Shadows. Okay, so yeah, this is actually something from old expansion that's still relevant. Okay, some of you might remember Grifta. I've talked about this stuff in at least the last 2 or 3 of my gold making videos, because they were relevant for the time. And Grifta gives you like a quest chain where you get from pickpocketing, where you get a lamp, and this guy wants you to pickpocket some stuff. and you get these coins of air. All right, as you pick, once you've maxed it all out, you can start collecting these. And Grifta once a week will give you a quest where if you give him 10,000 coins of air, he'll give you gold. Back in Legion, it was 5,000 gold. Then when the big nerf hit, and basically Blizzard took away all the gold making abilities in Legion, at least the ones that I was using, like from the mission table and stuff like that, they cut it in half to 2,500. And then I think around patch 8.1, they cut it in half again, so it does about 1,234 gold and some silver. All right, that's just real shitty. However, that's still over 1,000 gold for basically doing nothing. This is a really easy thing to get. Basically, you spend about a half an hour going to a specific area of Suramar. Okay, let's show you right here. Okay, basically you're just gonna wander around this area right here. There's like tons of enemies here, and if you haven't done it, I recommend getting the disguise, doing the Suramar questline so that you get the disguise on your rogue. So this way the rogue can cloak and not have to worry about getting spotted because the enemy still thinks you're friendly, and you just go around and you just pickpocket everyone. I mean, if you're 120, you're so damn powerful you could kill everything, but you don't want to kill anything. You just want to pickpocket everything. You go around here, like do like a couple of rotations. You usually start here and then you rotate and you go up through here and you go back down and you just go around. Actually, you go across here and you go around and around. You do it like 2 times, and you you'll have anywhere between 60 to 80,000 coins of air. That means you only have to do that once every 6 to 8 weeks. You know, so like 1.5 to 2 months you have to do that. As you can see, Shiguri's got about 10,000, so she's got enough for next week because I already turned it in for this week. And because once you turn it in, he replaces it with this one. I don't need them, but I'll take them. And let's see, he only gives you 50 gold. So when they're actually in the beta, this was a really broken way because he would give you instead of 5,000, he would give you 500 gold, and people found out that they just got themselves a shitload of the coins of air. They could turn them into him like all day, like just for like 2 hours. You can get hundreds of thousands of gold. It was amazing, but Blizzard saw that, found that out, and quickly nerfed it to 50. Which surprisingly they haven't nerfed it further, but it's only 50 gold, so I don't think they care. Alright, so basically this is something you're going to want to come back and do every couple of months or so, just for that extra 1,000 gold a week, which will really help. That's a little over 4,000 gold a month, which, you know, is basically like a whole day of WoW time in and of itself. Alright, so let's go on to another section. I'll show you what else you guys are going to want to do. Okay, so here I am on my hunter, my dwarf hunter, Gobber. Alright, so this is because I want to show you, because I actually did this on some of the other characters. See, this is another thing that's a really great source of income, alright, is this right here. Is these emissary quests for Stormswake, okay? So, well, that's not for Stormswake specifically, but sometimes the extra reward for the completing the emissary quest, you know, see here it's a 415 weapon, artifact power, which is garbage. You know, I tend to ignore these entirely. You know, especially if it's Champions of Azeroth, because you have to go all over hell and back to do all the quests because they're scattered all over the zone. And it's just really not an efficient use of your time, so I wouldn't really worry about it. You know, if you get them in the course of hunting the others, great. If you don't worry about it. It's just a little extra. But this is awesome. See, the reward is 2,000 gold. Alright, so the more max level characters you have, I have only 7 right now, but that's 14,000 gold. At the end of the day, that is literally like 3.5 days worth of WoW time right there. Or if you want to just round down because of the increase, you know, to 130,000 gold, I only buy it when it goes down to about 130. That's the only time I buy a WoW token. And so that's like basically like 3 days worth of WoW time right there, just boom. You know, so on top of everything else, that's pretty helpful. Let's have a look at his mission table. Let's see if I can show you some other tips about this. Okay, there's that. Okay. See, this is what sucks, is sometimes you don't get any reputation missions. So basically you just have to go with these. I recommend going with the gold. If you don't have reputation, go for the gold first, and then go for things like this. You can sometimes sell them on the auction house, though people don't really want them. At least I'm not on my server, but they can be useful for you, especially when there's 200, so you get 7. That's pretty nice. And of course, always go for the prismatic mana pearls because you want to be able to upgrade your benthic gear. These really are not worth getting, you know, even the biggest ones. Like, if you've got really have nothing to do, you have a guaranteed 200%. It's one of these huge ones, like 483, and it's 200%, so you're guaranteed to get this bonus. You know, you might as well just do it, you know, if you have nothing better to do and you've got, like, you know, see, even he has thousands of war resources, and he has, that's because he hasn't had his max reputation that long. So one thing that you'll see a lot is like the 250s and stuff like that. However, some reputations you'll see are 100 or 125. Do not waste your war resources on them unless you literally have nothing else to do. Once again, you know, like, even these are better than getting that lousy 200 200 rep. Okay, and then I would only do them if there's literally nothing else to do, and it's a guaranteed 200%. If it's not guaranteed 200%, it's not worth the war resources. All right, so let's see. Okay, so yeah, this is a great source of gold right here, and of course you want to have as much reputation as you can get. See, this guy's got all of them. See, he's almost ready with the Tortollans, you know, Proudmoore Admiralty, which he'll get at the end of this invasion. Order of Embers, even Champions of Azeroth is getting pretty close, but I'm not going to worry about it. Storm's Wake is pretty far away, but once I complete that, it'll be higher. But you can speed this up if you use like contracts or stuff. Contracts, really, people aren't really buying them, you know, so they kind of sell for pretty cheap on the auction house. You know, you pretty much will. They only give you 10 additional rep for every world quest, but they last for 7 days. So trust me, it does add up. Or if you've got a inscriber, you know, you just want to build up his inscription skill, you can just do that. Just keep making contracts and stuff like that. It'll help. You know, you can even do it for the ones that don't really pop up very often. Like I said, the Tortollan is like one of the best ones because each of their quests gives you like 175 reputation, and you only have to do 3 of them to complete the emissary quest. I mean, usually their reward is crap. You know, it's usually like, it's almost always artifact power, but still, I mean, that rep you get, and plus their loot chest at the end of 10,000 reputation is usually pretty good. It usually is well over 4,000 gold. It's kind of random. Sometimes you get as low as like 3,800 gold, but sometimes it goes almost as high, almost to 5,000. So this is basically my method. You got little things all over the place, but your primary source is going to be your reputation. And if you ever are in a week where you get the reputation bonus, you know, like for completing 20 world quests, you know, you have to do 20 world quests and you get 1,000 war resources, but during that week you get 50% increased reputation for world quests, which is great. And it can allow you to get last time they had one, I actually got 16 of those emissary of those chests. These chests across all 7 characters, I got 16 of them. All right. Another thing what makes this great right here is that the more characters you get. See, I only have 7 right now, but I have 12 characters that I can eventually you know, that I will eventually get up to max level. I know it's been a long time. I just really haven't had much time to play, but once they're all max level, every time one of these comes up, that's like a whole week's worth of WoW time, just boom, and that's just extra. I am making like well above the just with 7 characters, I am making well above. I mean, I don't really intend to grind out reputation for the other guys, the other remaining 5 characters I got. I mean, if I get exalted reputations, which you probably will, like I said, 7th Legion is easy. One easy way to get lots of rep is completing all the story quests in all the zones. Yeah, I mean, Drustvar you kind of have to, because Drustvar is a pain in the ass, because almost all of the damn flight points in Drustvar you have to unlock. So it's a pain in the ass if you don't have flying. But see, look, here's one. Oh, that's Azerite Empowerment. See, there's one of them for the Champions Azeroth, but there's no others. So you got to go to another zone. And because there's usually, each continent usually only has 3, that means you usually have to go to the enemy continent. If you got war mode on, that's a pain in the ass. Okay, guys, so that's basically what all you need to do. Plus, there are extra things that will get you gold, like fighting world bosses and such like that. They will give you gold sometimes. See the world boss over here. Where is he? Oh, there it is. Yeah, see, the world boss is just giving Azerite power. So that's just kind of lame. And if you really want to get stuff with the Ankolan, I recommend doing the quest to get the chest world quests. These are so easy. They take like no damn time. You know, let's see. Yeah, Vengeful Highborn, no. But this one right here, the Rune Lock chest, I mean, that's like a quick little game of Bejeweled or untangling the lines. It's so quick, so easy if you know what you're doing. You know, once you've done a few of them, you catch on and you realize it's so easy, takes no time, and it's just a free quest with free reputation. So if you really need to grind out that reputation, that's a great way to do it, is to do that quest. You get it from starting off with the quest with the rune... The rune stones that let you search for treasures. One of the Ankolan there will give you a quest, you know, and sometimes these things give gold, and it's just extra gold. I mean, sometimes world quests are pretty decent for gold. You know, that's 169 gold. So these are all the little things. I mean, these are things you would normally do, and don't do big, complicated world quests. Okay, that's one thing I must stress, is when you're trying to grind out the rep or in stuff like that, don't do long ass world quests. Let's see. Well, that one's easy. See, this one's easy. Question 5 guards. You know, that one's easy. You know, these are always great if you have the stuff, you know, to turn in resources and stuff. That's always great, especially when they're old resources. You know, killing bosses, easy. Beachhead is actually a world quest I do not recommend. It is a serious pain in the ass, and it's very time consuming, and they're always way out of the way, so I really don't recommend them. If you're a pet battler, pet battle quests are great, you know, but nothing that takes forever. Let's see. See, these are actually all easy quests out right now. Let's see if they got anything that's normally time. Yeah, here we go. See, Fallhaven cleansed. You basically have to fill up that meter by doing all this shit, but usually there's like a lot of other people there killing the enemies instead of you. Clicking on all the nodes that give you completion percentage, you know, so don't worry about those. Okay, guys, so there's just my quick little tips on how to make some extra gold in WoW. That you follow this and you'll be able to get the gold you need just to pay off your WoW token every month, and with a little bit extra, because currently I have a whole year's worth of WoW time saved up. See, here are my characters. As you can see, I only have 7 that are max level, and this one right here, my Death Knight, he actually is missing several of the Exalted Reputations. He only has 3 out of the 6, and yet even when he didn't have any, I was still making tons of money, and now that he has them, I'm making even more money. So I know this method obviously works, because I don't get a lot of time to play. I only play for like, you know, I don't even get to play for most of the week. I usually only can play on the weekends, like, you know, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And even then, I only get like, you know, like a couple of hours. And that's still enough time for me to, you know, go through this and still get all... Sometimes I'll force myself. Like when the 2,000 emissary quest pops up, 2,000 gold, I'll force myself and grab that. You know, that causes me to go without sleep. You know, a lot of WoW players are like, what's sleep? What is this sleep? Anyway, so this is definitely a good way to make gold. It's worked for me. It'll help you make that extra gold. It's not really as grindy as you think. Just do things you would normally do. Do the story quests in each of the zones. Don't bother with the optional ones, but those will crank out a lot of reps. Some of those quests, like when you complete the maximum one, some of them give you like 3,000 rep. It's a great way to boost yourself. Excuse me. And if you've got, of course you want to unlock world quests as soon as possible. So you're going to want to get some heirloom gear, which is kind of a pain in the ass because heirloom gear is so weak now compared to what it's always usually is. You know, I mean, you find gear better than heirloom gear in this game. Anyway, I hope you guys found that informative. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget, if you did, don't forget to like it and subscribe. If you did enjoy it, like and subscribe anyway because I told you to. Haha. And I hope this guide helps you guys, you know, make that quota to pay off and do it right, and you'll never have to pay for WoW again. I have not paid for a month of World of Warcraft since Warlords, when they first introduced the WoW token. I had enough money saved up from Pandaria, and then when the garrisons came out, I turned 2 garrisons into gold factories. Once I found out about that, I made tons and tons of gold, and I never had to pay for a month of WoW. And then Legion came out, and they took away the garrisons, but with the order halls across all of my characters, with the order halls, I was able to make 3 times as much gold as I needed every month. So I had a huge surplus of gold across for all my characters. I didn't make 3 times for a character, just all together. So I know these methods work. I just hope that next expansion there's still another way to do this, because I know like 1 to 3 months before the next expansion they're going to take away all of our methods of making gold in this expansion. It's just going to be really dumb, so it's going to be a dry spell, and I hope that next expansion there'll be a way for me to make gold like this, so that just by playing the game regularly, no grinding, no looking for shit to sell in the auction house, just stuff you would normally get and sell. Anyway, I hope this is informative for you guys. I'll see you guys next time. Tune in every day for new content. Bye-bye.